Welcome back to the Michael Cohen Show on our continued journey to 500,000 subscribers. We are literally almost there. So hit subscribe, watch, comment, and share because the stupidity, it never stops. Meanwhile, state regime media was given a tough task this week, right? Trying to spin the government shutdown and follow Trump's lead on blaming the Democrats. Now, look, let me be clear about something. I always show you the facts here on this show. And a new Washington Post poll shows that many people are blaming Trump and the Republicans for the shutdown. Let me show it to you. In it, it turns around and it shows Washington Post flash poll of 1,010 people. 47% of them blame Trump and Republicans in Congress for the government shutdown, whereas 30% say Democrats in Congress. All right. Who do you think is mainly responsible for the federal government partially shutting down? This is the poll that was done. Now, I want to be clear about something. To anybody who knows me at all, you know that I put zero confidence in any of these polls. 1,010 people. Why not seriously just go ahead, go on, I don't care, social media and post a poll there. You're not going to get 1,010 people. Of course, you're going to get a lot of bots, but you're not going to get 1,010 people. You're going to get 1 million. And that to me is a real poll. But everyone that I have spoken to, Republican, Democrat, and Independent, are all saying the same thing. This is a Republican government shutdown as the Republicans control Oval Office, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. This is their government. This is their government shutdown. Now, let me be clear. A competent person would see this and realize that the shutdown has to be the GOP's fault, but not Fox. Oh, hell no. They're there to try and to do a master spin. And who, of course, Jesse the Jerk-Off Waters tried to say that the government is working fine. It's absolutely fine this week and before. Play the clip.
All in. And they have so much more to lose. All their pet projects, their windmills, their bureaucrats. And the world keeps spinning during the government shutdown. And people are starting to realize, wait a second, maybe we don't need this big, fat, bloated government. Everything seems to be working fine. The messaging war is embarrassing. All they're talking about is sombreros and healthcare for illegal aliens.
Yeah. So funny. I mean, it's amazing that Fox doesn't have like a comedy show and put Jesse Waters on because he's as funny as Seth Meyers, as Stephen Colbert, as Jimmy Kimmel. He's just so talented. He's just so talented. Meanwhile, Waters goes on to say that stupid people are dangerous. I totally agree. I consider him to be stupid. I mean, seriously, the irony of Fox making that claim. Play the clip.
With anything. Stupid people, it's been famously said, are more dangerous than evil people. Evil people you can confront, expose, and contain. Stupid people, they don't listen to facts, they don't listen to reason, and oftentimes they don't really succumb to force. And so when you get a stupid person that gets a little confidence, that's the worst. That's the most dangerous. And you have to be very careful around stupid people.
Where do you think you fall on that, Brian?
Where do you think, Harold?
That's why they gave him primetime. Dana.
Yeah, by the way, I know that they said it as a joke, but they truly feel exactly the same way that I do. Not only is he dangerous because of what he says, but he's truly stupid. Meanwhile, let me get the last of these Waters clip out, because other than that, I'm just going to throw up on my camera. He compared the shutdown over healthcare, kind of like your wife continuing to wreck her car. Play the clip.
The Obamacare bailout, put aside the illegal alien healthcare. This is what this is about. They created this program that was supposed to help people with health insurance, and it quadrupled the price of everything. So they're basically holding the government hostage and making Trump fix a problem that they created. Dana, permission to make an analogy.
No.
Granted.
This is like when your wife forces you to buy an expensive car, and then she just wrecks it over and over again, and it's always stuck in the shop. but she wants to go out, right? But she won't take an Uber. She won't be seen in an Uber. She calls you cheap. So you know what you do? You sit on the couch, you say, fine, babe, I'm just going to sit down, order pizza, and watch football. You're the one that needs to go out and shop and get their nails done. This is a war they cannot win. You're playing chicken with the guy that loves sitting down.
Love your analogies.
Thank you.
I will always grant permission.
Yeah, I'll tell you who wasn't laughing too much. Somebody who I know very, very well. That's Kellyanne Conway. Think about the sexist and the misogynistic comments coming out of this fucking jerk off. And there's no other way to describe him. Just a jerk off. Oh, she's only going out to get her nails done or so on. And it's the woman who wrecks the car. There's plenty of bad male drivers out there. All right. I mean, think about the analogy that this idiot is putting forth. And the funny thing is he's the one that's talking about how dangerous stupid people are. But again, stupidity doesn't start and stop with Jesse the Jerk-Off Waters. No, it doesn't. Senator Mike Lee goes on Fox talking about how Russ Vought has dreamt about the energy cuts since puberty. There's something really wrong with these people. Play the clip.
But this is what they're doing. They're doing it deliberately. It's going to harm them. Because Russ Vought, the OMB director, has been dreaming about this moment, preparing this moment since puberty. Russ Vought has a plan, and that plan is going to succeed in further empowering Trump. This is going to be the Democrats' worst nightmare, and it's of their own making.
Yeah.
Again, he's not wrong when he says how dangerous stupidity is. And there's something with this party and puberty. Really? You think that that's probably the best word that you could use? Now, Energy Secretary Chris Wright, he told Fox's Stuart Varney that reducing CO2 emissions does not do anything. Hello, moron. CO2 is a major cause of global warming, according to every single scientist. But then again, I forgot that you morons don't even believe in that. Play the clip.
Is there such a thing as clean coal, which doesn't have the same CO2 emissions as the old, dirty coal?
The emissions from coal that matter, is particulate matter and SOx and NOx pollutants. So clean coal is using pollution control systems. So coming out of the smokestack is just water vapor and carbon dioxide. Reducing the CO2 emissions, that's expensive, but really wholly unnecessary. Extremely expensive, very little benefit from that. Again, it's just returning common sense. Americans want affordable energy. They want more job opportunities. They want to be able to pay their bills. And so do we.
Okay.
You know what else that we would like there, pal? We'd like clean air to breathe. We would like water that we can drink. We would like not to have our houses literally floating in the Atlantic or the Pacific Ocean. Sure, we would like inexpensive energy. Who doesn't want that? Maybe start looking at maybe nuclear, right? It's cleaner, certainly, than burning coal. Now, Varney also goes on and asks Wright if cutting $8 billion worth of energy projects was merely just punishment to blue states. Here's the sickest thing. Wright didn't outright say no. Play the clip.
You cancelled, I believe, almost $8 billion worth of energy projects across the country. Most of these projects are in blue states. The Democrats are saying, hey, they are being punished for their politics. So, Mr. Secretary, are you punishing the blue states?
We are punishing the wasteful spending of taxpayer dollars. Stuart, do you and your viewers want to pay $70 million to decarbonize mac and cheese?
No.
Do you want to pay to decarbonize Uber Eats in San Francisco or subsidize e-bike lanes in Portlandia? People don't want to spend taxpayer money on that. If California wants to spend $600 million more to drive their electricity prices even higher, let Californians do that. But we don't want taxpayers from the other 49 states subsidizing California to do that.
You got me with the mac and cheese, Mr. Secretary. A great performance on the show today. Thanks very much for being here.
Shame on Stuart Varney because he's better than that. But this Secretary of Energy has truly no idea what he's talking about at all. You know, you start talking about emissions, you start talking about electrical expenses. Seriously? I mean, I thought the whole point is to try to get away from fossil fuel burning. Meanwhile, Labor Secretary Lori Chavez DeRemer, she tried to claim that job numbers are continuing to increase. Maria Bartiromo, who's just another one that spews misinformation all day long, she tried to fact check her. Sure, play the clip.
Of job gains. We've been working so hard across the country to make sure that we are growing this economy and, really having the workforce investments that we've been doing to only see it come to a screeching halt. While we're not going to get the jobs numbers report because they will not open this government, we want to keep the momentum going. I mean, that's been the goal as I've traversed this country. We're seeing consumer confidence up. We're seeing businesses want to reinvest in their workforce. And this is only, a real screeching halt for the American people. And it's unfortunate that the Democrats don't see that they're fighting for the American people and they're going to pay.
Well, I mean, the data, though. You know where we are. I mean, we've had 3 months of slowing jobs. We know we don't have the numbers for September, but is there anything you could tell us about the jobs picture today?
Yeah. I mean, again, giving her all the opportunity within which to spread more misinformation and disinformation. Job numbers are dismal, plain and simple. Now, speaking, of course, of fact-checking, Senator Chris Coons, he, of course, goes on to the propaganda network Fox with Martha McCallum, where he put her in her place on the lie that Democrats want to give health care to illegal immigrants. Finally, play the clip.
I'm sorry? I was just adding that there are people who came to the country illegally, who got looped in under temporary protection status, who do receive those benefits. And we're going to get into that a little bit deeper in the next. Yes, there are. There are people who have temporary protection status, which makes them, quote, legal. And that's why they're falling under this legal protection, because it was expanded during COVID. And that's, I understand that there's two sides to this argument, but those are the people that are getting argued over right now.
There's not two sides to this argument. The president said Democrats want to give a gold-plated Medicare program for illegal aliens. That's not true. You can only benefit from the Affordable Care Act, Medicare and Medicaid, if you have legal status in this country.
Which was broadly expanded.
We are not fighting for health care for people who are here illegally. That's not true. But we are fighting for health care for Americans.
All right. I understand and appreciate your point on that.
Yeah, sure, Martha, right? You don't appreciate shit unless you're able to continue, to just spew your lies for your base. The problem is that there are people who only listen to Fox and they believe the things that these hosts are saying. And finally, on the topic of healthcare, former Democratic Representative Harold Ford Jr., he went on Fox explaining that when healthcare premiums go up, it is essentially a tax increase. Of course, it's what it is. Play the clip.
And I think Democrats should tell Republicans this. We're going to have 4 to 5 weeks to figure out what we do on health care. Now, I differ with those you around the table. I think this health care thing is a lot more serious than we think. 50 million Americans, 50 get their health care from the Affordable Care Act. We call it Obamacare. To give you a sense, if you live in Florida, 3.3 million Floridians are on it. The second biggest state is Texas. There are 2.4 million. And the fourth biggest is Georgia with 880,000. My home state of Tennessee has 350,000 people their health insurance comes from Obamacare. What Democrats are upset about is that come mid-November, the premiums are going to go way up.
Why?
Well, premiums because health insurance.
Why?
I'll tell you why. Innovation in healthcare, inflation.
Okay.
And there are a number of reasons why it's going up for your health care and my health care. Both are going up. So when we passed the big beautiful bill, and prior to that, the tax bill that you guys passed in 2017, when President Trump got elected again for the second time, he said, you have to renew my tax cuts. I actually thought a lot of that was right, because if you raise taxes on a whole number of people, you would disrupt the economy. The same is true with health care. If you raise health premiums on 50 million Americans, not to mention those who are already impacted by the big beautiful bill and those who are impacted by Medicaid, that's essentially a tax increase on those people.
Yeah, he's not wrong. But again, you're going to get You're going to get pushback from people like Jesse the Jerkoff. You're going to get pushback from all of these Republicans because it doesn't comport with their talking points. Plain and simple. But when you get that bill and it's up by at minimum of 25%, you will know whose fault it is. And again, I'm going to repeat. Republicans control the government right now. This is their government shutdown. And as always, thanks for listening. Hey, everyone. First of all, thanks for watching. I mean, we're going to be posting daily episodes with reactions and talking about politics. We'll be talking about everything, in fact. So please like and subscribe. Join us on this journey.